All right, good morning, everyone, or good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you're coming in from. I would love to know where you're coming in from. If you're watching live or on the replay, please let me know and where you're tuning in from. So let's get started today. Let me actually add this to the. There we go. Let me add this to the screen here. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to make money online, but specifically using specific resources. We're going to go through the actual steps, like from how do you come up with an idea to all the way to how do you set up, payment systems, and how do you even drive leads, and where do you send the customer to? How do you get a transaction? How do you get your first customers? We're going to talk about all of this, and this will essentially be kind of like a full course here, a full mini course. But we're going to go over this in some depth. But I want to talk about a little bit my own experience with making money online. And it was kind of a non-traditional way of making money online because the business is like partially offline, partially online. So in the process of doing a lot of the things that I'm going to share today, I've actually had to learn a lot of new stuff along the way as well. And I've had help from other people, insights from other people, examples from other people that have helped along the way to really make a clear path. So I'm going to share a lot of that knowledge, but I'm also going to share more resources with you, specific resources that would be 5 specific books that you can use, not just for me to give you some tidbits here, but you can go and you can explore in depth on each topic or each step that I'm going to share. So the first step that I'm going to share, which is really important, is this. All right, get this book. I want you to get this book. And you can get it I think it's available as an audiobook as well, but I think it's also available as PDF, like an ebook, and of course the physical book. But the reason I want you to get this book, okay, is let's be real. If you're on YouTube, you're on YouTube right now, right? Watching this. So if you're on YouTube or you hang out on TikTok long enough or you hang out on Instagram long enough, what are you going to see? You're going to see a lot of influencers talking about affiliate marketing. They're going to talk about how drop shipping is the best opportunity. You're going to hear so much about how index funds are the best opportunity. You're going to hear so much about how real estate investing is the best opportunity. And who's right here? Who is right? Like Amazon, right? I know an Amazon guru out there. And the thing is, they're all right and they're all wrong. Because here's the thing. There is no such thing as a best business. It does not exist. So what do I mean by that? The best business is relative to the strengths that you already have. Does that make sense? Like, tell me, if you're watching this, tell me if that makes sense to you. So for instance, if let's say in drop shipping, you already have skills and knowledge about how to make funnels and how to do copywriting and maybe how to make ads. Like you've already had years of experience in that, working for some company or something like that. Well, then guess what? Drop shipping is probably going to be an amazing opportunity for you, but drop shipping is not going to be such an amazing opportunity for somebody else who has to build that skill set from scratch. Or if you're in real estate investing, or you're in, or just even real estate in general, a lot of times you have to do cold calls on listings and stuff like that. And it takes a lot of sales skills. So what if you already have sales skill? You worked for some marketing or sales team in corporate sales for years. Great. So real estate is probably going to be pretty simple for you to start to learn the ropes. But from somebody learning from scratch, again, not going to be such a great opportunity. So do you see how it's relative? The business, how good the business is relative to our strengths. And so if we don't discover our strengths in the first place, then it's going to be really hard to build any business or know what business we're going to choose. So I highly recommend, because I made this mistake when I started my direct sales business. I had an academic background, only an academic background. And then I'm going into a heavily front-facing sales business. there was such a huge skill gap for me, right? There was such a huge skill gap for me at that time that it was an uphill climb to learn the business. Now I have years of sales experience, but it was an uphill climb for me to learn sales skills, right? And so you want to do yourself a favor, please, because I have the experience to tell you, like, to shorten up the time it takes for you to make money online. Please read this book, because we all need to identify the strengths that we already have before we choose the business model. Don't choose the business model first. Identify your strengths first, right? And then choose the business model, because that's going to be most likely the best business model for you. And we're going to see this. I actually have 2 books on this because it's such an important point. So what are some types of abilities that he points out here in this book? Well, we have action-oriented abilities, we have cognitive abilities, belief-based abilities, people-oriented abilities. I don't have time in here because we have so much ground to cover, guys, because this is going to be like a full mini course for you guys. We don't have enough time to cover every type of ability here, but he does break it down in the book, how to identify these abilities. But you can also take the free online test. So log this. This is predictiveindex.com. You just scroll a little bit, you'll see the free test. And what it will do is it'll take you through a series of questions. And after that series of questions, after you have that series of questions down and answered, you will then have some really good understanding of what your strengths are and what the direction of business you should go is. And you say, well, I already know my strengths. Well, sometimes we deceive ourselves. That's the thing. Sometimes we don't know our own strengths and our own weaknesses, but this test is very objective. It's not subjective like we are. It's very objective, and it's very well validated. So do take that test. It's going to help give you the clarity that you need. Once you have that test down, then here's another book that's going to be really, really helpful for you. Get this book, Business Model Generation. All right. Business Model Generation. I forget the author's name off the top of my head, but it's a great book. I mean, hugely clarifying for me. It was hugely clarifying for me when I read this. Why? Because what it does is, after you identify your strengths, right? Everybody wants to make money online. What's the best business opportunity? Again, there's no best business opportunity. You have to figure it out based on your strengths. So once you've done that, this is such a great, I mean, you could ideate with ChatGPT and come up with ideas from ChatGPT, but this is great. This gives you how many business models? There are like dozens and dozens and dozens of business models that it actually gives you as examples. And it even has the website. I forget if it has a website you can actually go on. You just actually Google business model generation. Yeah, right. Thank you, Keenan. Definitely. Like, I don't know exactly which point you're agreeing with, but yeah, I think you're probably agreeing with no best business opportunity. It's relative to our strengths, right? But once we identify that, we can go on and go to this website, Google Business Model Generation. It should come up, and you can actually explore interactively all different types of companies and what their business models are, how they became successful, and kind of, it's going to give you a lot of ideas, because you can come up with an idea that's really, really good, and hit the ground running with it. So this book is so indispensable before you try to do some side hustle. Okay, if you're currently doing a side hustle, great. If you're currently doing some side hustle, that's great, or online business, awesome. These books are going to really supplement that knowledge. See where you can improve your business model. Okay. So the next thing I want to take a look at, what are some examples of business model types that you might consider? Well, product-based. Do you really gravitate toward a product? Some people really love selling a product. Or maybe your connections. Once again, look at Strengths Finder. Maybe your connections or your resources or your talents or your skills are already somewhere related to products, or your network somehow has resources for products, or product development or distribution, right? So drop shipping, affiliate marketing, pretty much for instance, pretty much any YouTuber or somebody who has an audience eventually does some sort of affiliate marketing, but you need to choose. The thing about drop shipping and affiliate marketing, okay, big deal about this. Don't choose a crappy product. Many people choose just a product that, has a high margin. I see all of these, and let me know if you see this on social media too. You see these Instagram posts or TikTok posts. Oh, step 1 in affiliate marketing. You choose a niche. Step 2, choose the highest margin product. That's a very bad way to do affiliate marketing. Okay, let's back up. Step 1 in doing dropshipping and affiliate marketing. If you're not familiar with the business models, I won't go into too much detail here, but it's basically both of them. You're selling somebody else's products. They're just different versions of that. Dropshipping is you're taking, a product from somewhere else, some other platform, and then just shipping it to the consumer, the end consumer, or facilitating the shipping process. Affiliate marketing is you have a link to a product somewhere, and then you sell it and earn a commission. But the thing is that the steps in the process shouldn't be, find the biggest margin. What if you're selling something that's a bad product? I don't know about you, but I don't just want to make money. Tell me if you're this way too. I don't just want to make money. I want to make money from something that I actually believe in and I can stand behind, and something that's going to add value to people's lives. So my first evaluation isn't necessarily even the margin, is can I stand behind this? Can I sleep at night if I'm going to promote this product? I don't know. For me, that's the first thing. And then branded products. Branded products are your own products that you come up with from scratch. So you can come up with, you build your own website. You have and I'm going to show you guys how to do this. All right. So stick around. I'm going to show you guys how to do all the steps here, from whatever you choose. But branded products, you come up with your own product from scratch. You may find a supplier, you may find specifically a manufacturer and brand it. And, that's a whole different thing. You really got to be in love with that, because there's a lot more to it in terms of legal side and insurance and things like that you might have to have. So wholesale licensing. The wholesale licensing is really interesting. A lot of people start let's say an Amazon business. And what do you see? You see popular products, Nike, Apple. You see a lot of popular brands, household products that are being sold on Amazon. And what many of those people do, it's not the company directly that may be selling those products, but what individuals can do, what you could do today, anybody can do with it. You have to have a minimum order quantity to do it, but you can open a wholesale account. You can contact these companies, open a wholesale account, get those products at wholesale price to sell, and get a license to sell them on Amazon or on other platforms. And that's what many people do. It can be a very lucrative business. Okay. And then digital products. Digital products are great too, especially I would say if you have a strength in terms of knowledge. That's also why I personally like digital products. One of the reasons is because there are a lot of things that I've learned that I can teach, and I have a teaching background. So of course, why not sell some digital products, right? And I have lots of digital products that I'm already selling. Well, not lots, but certain that I'm already selling. Digital products, the great thing is you don't have to ship it. You could sell it to anywhere in the world. You create it once, and it can create a lot of passive income just from you having done this one thing one time. So it is a good opportunity for passive income. But again, consider your strengths. Service-based, subscriptions and memberships. I'm not going to go through all of this. Platform-based, one-to-one. You can see more of this in Business Model Generation in that book. But one-to-one, this is one that I will tend to, I'm not gonna diss anything. I'm just gonna say I have so much experience doing one-to-one, like one-to-one coaching, one-to-one teaching and stuff like that. And online, like actually doing it online, like one-to-one teaching anything online to, oh wow, I could like teach people from Zoom, and then I can, work an hour and work a couple of hours a day and make lots of money. It's still so draining. Like, let me tell you, it's so draining. If you love it, once again, if you love that one-to-one, Awesome, Keenan. Thanks for the feedback. Check out more of our resources. Check out our Discord. And join the conversation. Check out the life orientation guide that is free in the description. You get more value from that as well. And email me anytime. You guys can reach out to me anytime with questions. I'm open. So anyway, so yeah, one-to-one, group-based, one-to-one, just be careful. I would charge a very high price if you're going to do one-to-one, because that's your time. And and so I do. If somebody wants one-to-one time, I will, I'll charge a very high price because I don't want to do a lot of it. The second book title, yes. So let's go back here and I'll show you the second book title. It is Business Model Generation. The author is escaping me for the moment, but you can look this up. You Google it, you will find Business Model Generation book. The author again is escaping me. I know it's on here, but it's very hard to read. Alexander Osterwalder. Alexander Osterwalder is the author. Alexander Osterwalder, and I'll put that in the chat here. Alexander Osterwalder. There we go. So that is in the chat for you. You can look that up. And let's move on a little bit. And guys, if you have questions along the way, feel free to chime in. I appreciate your adding in. So let's take a look here at others. Oh, yeah, you can do YouTube and things like that. Again, I do want to caution you. And you can make, obviously YouTube will pay you for the views that you get, right? So the fact that you guys are on here and viewing it right now, YouTube is paying me for those views. But, and then people, YouTube will pay me for the views that happen down the line. You can get brand deals by working with companies. The thing is, though, again, it looks attractive, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. All of these are a lot of work. Again, you have to determine your strength and what makes sense for you, right? Don't just be a YouTuber, or don't just do, drop shipping, or don't just do affiliate marketing because, it's the hottest thing and everybody's making money, and YouTube automation, and it's so great. Like, what? It doesn't make sense, right? So book three is Day Trading Attention. Now, this is brand new by Gary Vaynerchuk. This is kind of like a republishing of, or a new version of his original jab, 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 right hook. He's brilliant. I want to tell you, I'm not just a Gary V fan because he's Gary V. And I am a Gary V fan because he takes a lot of attention to detail. There are so many marketing gurus out there. Seth Godin is great. Like, I'm not going to say like there are not great marketing gurus out there, but very few of them give you very detailed step-by-step instructions and examples of what to do, what to post, where to post, how many times, what hashtags, what's my funnel going to look like. And he has examples of all of that in this book. Fantastic book. I've seen other marketing books and books on marketing that give you ideas about, you should communicate this messaging in your brand. This is all good, by the way. You need to know that stuff. But it's theoretical. It's theory. I don't necessarily, if I'm building a business, guys, do you guys agree with me? If I'm building a business, I need some theory, but I don't need like just theory. I need a blueprint of like, okay, I did this step. After I've done this step, what's my next step after that, right? And so we need that. I'm going to tell you guys, I want to encourage you. You all can make money online. You just have to pick you have to go through the correct steps. So go through the correct steps. You will find something that really resonates with you, right? There's so much opportunity. You've got to find the right vehicle for you. Go through these steps that I'm giving you today. So building a funnel, let's just go through the basic idea behind building a funnel. And you can so for beginners, I would suggest, what is a funnel? I'm realizing I might be talking about things that people might not be familiar with. Okay. In order to market, in order to build an online business, I'll just briefly explain this. You need what's called a funnel. So you need people to have awareness of your brand. You need people to notice that you exist, right? And then once they notice that you exist and they kind of like something about you, right? Maybe they like the information, they like your personality, whatever it is. You have links to things that you offer in somewhere in your profile, somewhere in your content. We'll talk about content types in a moment because there are all sorts of content types. It's not just social media, right? Everybody thinks it's just social media. It's not just that. And guess what? From there, then they start to become part of an email sequence. They get exposed to more of your content, more ideas from you, more tips, maybe free resources. And then they start to potentially, funnel down and become your customer, right? People need human psychology. That's how human psychology works. Almost nobody ever, and this was true in my first business, this was true in my second business too. Almost never, and they were totally different businesses. It was always true. People almost never will buy from a first exposure to you. They'll never buy from you just from like, oh, I heard from you once. Oh, and suddenly I trust you and I'm going to give you my money. That like almost never works. So you have to almost never. Sometimes it does. So you have to build this funnel. So choose a good funnel building platform. Now, I recommend things like ClickFunnels. Even I'll tell you, System is even better. It's a good kept secret. I am not an affiliate of System and promoting this System.io. System.io, you can look that up. It's free to get started. They do have paid versions, but it's like kind of an all-in-one starter kit for system, for a funnel, for email marketing, for all of that stuff, for landing pages, to like get people to your email list and stuff like that. And then you create a lead magnet. This is a typical, there are all sorts of ways of building funnels, but this is kind of a typical structure. Create a lead magnet. So what you want to do, no matter what business you're in, it could be any number of businesses, but typically you want to start with that lead magnet. What is a lead magnet? So a lead magnet is some free resource that you have that is genuinely valuable to people, that they can, it could be a PDF, it could be like a fitness tracker. If you're a personal trainer, you're doing personal training online and something like that. It's just as an example, you might do a fitness tracker. Hey, get my free fitness tracker. Or you might have like a free video course, right? Or it might even be a very low priced video course that you have, right? Create an email sequence from there. The email sequence should not be like, oh, buy my stuff, right? The email sequence should be here are tips, here are valuable resources I'm going to give you, here are insights. And now people are becoming like really, that connection to you, right? It's repeated exposure. And then also create a sales page, and you can do that on System, not on ClickFunnels, but you can do that on System. And schedule email campaigns. So, and it's really that simple to start. So that's all you need. There are more bells and whistles. I know some people on here, maybe you have some experience with digital marketing. You're going to yell at me and say like, oh, that's not all you need. You need more stuff. Just to start, that's good enough. Because if you do more than that faster, you might overwhelm yourself. If you start there, you can start to gather leads. You can start to gather, get the value created for those leads and all of that. So don't underestimate building these strong foundations. But the problem remains. Is like, I love how it's kind of like, I'm sorry, I have to say it, the scammy marketing tactics of affiliate marketing gurus out there. Sorry. I just have to say it. There are so many scammy tactics when you see like, oh, make 10,000 a month with Walmart, promoting Walmart product. Yeah, no, like, right? It's all, sorry. It's like on borderline. It's not technically false, but it's like borderline scam. Okay. And what they do is they tell you, oh, just post your link. You go through the steps, build your funnel, and you post your link on Instagram, and voila, you're going to make tons of sales. Like they don't, yes, once you build your funnel, it's not the end of the story. People totally overemphasize. Oh, build your funnel, build your funnel, build your funnel. Yes, it's important, but if you do not have an audience, you don't have leads. You don't even have to have some audience, so to speak. You don't have to be on social media. There are plenty of people who make tons of money who have like very few followers on social media, and they use other strategies, which I'll go over. So, but no matter what, it has to be some sort of content strategy, because that has to feed the funnel. So your content, whatever that is the top of your funnel. Okay. And so your content, here's number one, because I have experience with this too. I used to create content on YouTube. By the way, you will not see them because I unlisted all my videos. Did not delete those, but you will not see like the content that I'm creating now. I love it. I like actually enjoy. It's not like a drag for me. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, wow, okay, let me script, let me like research ideas, let me think about what else I can like talk about to give value to people. So it needs to be something that's authentic to you when you are creating content, right? Instagram, for instance, or whatever, even Facebook, right? You can build an audience there and create content. You have to enjoy it. If you're every day you're waking up, and because I used to do this, every day I was waking up, I was like, oh, I have to create like short form content, and I have to create these stupid, horrible YouTube videos. And like, it's a drag. So you don't want to get caught in that. This is, again, goes back to the beginning, the foundation, strengths finder and business model generation. If you're not in the right business, you're not leveraging your strengths, you're going to be miserable. You might even make a little bit of money, but you're going to be miserable. I'm telling you. I'm just warning you, because like I know this stuff. I do have a little bit of 15 plus years of experience in business. So yeah, about 15 years. So types of top of funnel content strategies. So blogging is a content strategy. Blogging is not dead. So blogging, have you ever noticed, like, you Google search, right? And now Google's having problems because it's competing with AI. But anyway, that's another topic. But you Google search, and you now have to, you go on and you're asking some question. Okay, well, how can I get flatter abs, right? How can I get a six pack? And then you land on, usually, often, a blog of some sort. You don't maybe even know it's a blog, but it's some sort of blog that answers the question, right? And on that blog, there's some content, really valuable content. You're like, wow, these were great tips. And then somewhere in there, you see a link, get flatter abs supplement, something like that, or book a call to, with a fit personal trainer, whatever. And there you go. Or maybe there's some fitness menu plan, digital product that's linked in there somehow. So that's where you get a lot of the those links, and you can actually build a blog. Again, it's a lot of work, but think about it. Do you like writing? Right? Ask yourself, and maybe you can share in the chat. Feel free to share in the chat. Do you like writing? Yes, no, right? Kind of. If you at least kind of like writing and you have the skill of writing, blogging might be a great way for you to build your content, to drive that. And because it might be very enjoyable. Do you not like any kind of content, but you do have a little bit of a budget, right? Maybe you have a little bit of savings. You're willing to invest in kind of learning ads. Great. You can go with paid ads. Many people do not have a budget set aside to just say, okay, I'm going to go into ads, but it's fine. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X. Do you like any of these platforms? Do you like short quotes? Then X or Threads maybe is your platform. YouTube, TikTok, just think, do you like making these short form videos? Do you enjoy it? Right? Then you can build an audience. It will take time to get views on these platforms and followers, but you can do it. And YouTube, same thing. Do you like longer video? Right? Again, depends. Facebook groups can be even. Do you want to build a Facebook group? I don't have time to go into all that stuff, but I have a Facebook group that has 46,000 people in it, right? That I kind of took over because I was asked to kind of take it over. But that's a great example. Like, You can have a Facebook group and have people follow you from there. And every so often, you can post resources and things that will kind of get them into your funnel, right? So that's kind of a good way of doing it too. Now, keys to content strategy. Keys to content strategy. How do you actually build content? How do you get views in the first place? How do you actually do all this stuff? Well, number one thing, and I have a YouTube coach, right, who's helping me build my channel, okay? I have YouTube coaches actually that are helping me build my channel because like I know that I need help in every process of building something. You need help. So one of the things that my YouTube coach at the very beginning was so smart. I just loved this approach was she said, don't think about a niche like, oh, are you in the make money niche, or are you in the history or niche, or are you in like the science facts niche? Don't think that way. Because don't you sometimes feel limited? A lot of people feel limited. Instead, focus on, okay, what is the avatar of the person that I'm trying to reach? Well, I thought about that. I was like, oh, well, that avatar is kind of a lot like me, right? So I kind of listed out you want to list out what's their level of income, what's their background, what's their, what keeps them up at night? What are their pain points? What are their, are they, political or not? Are they religious or not? Or like all of these things you kind of want to define in who you're targeting, because based on that, then you want to start experiment with topics. Now, I don't have time to go through again all of this stuff here in terms of how to do topic research. They all vary from platform to platform, but you want to do a little bit of topic research and say, okay, based on the pain points that my audience is experiencing, for instance, if they really want to quit their 9-to-5, right? They really want to quit their 9-to-5. They want to find some way to do that. Well, what are other people in that space online talking about? What are they talking about? What topics? What sub points are they covering? Well, those are things that you might want to cover too, but you're not going to just copy people. You're going to put your own unique twist on it. And guys, I want to let you know, you all have something unique to tell and share. It's saturated online. Sure, it is, but it's not saturated with you. And I think Dan Coe, somebody else, if you guys watch Dan Coe, I know you do because I look at my analytics. So a lot of you watch Dan Coe. Dan Coe actually has a lot of great stuff to say about this. You are a niche of one. Don't try to, fit in or try to copy everybody else. You want to be your own niche, but that's a longer topic. So define who you're trying to reach first. Then do some topic research on the platform. Type in like, what is trending? What are people talking about? You want to start off experimenting with video or if you're blogging, blogs on that, right? On Google, you could do Google Trends, right? Trends.google.com. You can type in the keyword of the topic you're thinking of and see how much search volume there is for it, right? Trends.google.com. That's one way of researching. Many ways to do it. Hooks. If it's short form, what are the first 3 seconds that you introduce, or 2 seconds, right? What is that? How does it start, right? How do you engage the person? Research that as well. What are some hooks? Get better at it. You want to build that skill set. And then if it's long form, right? The first 30 seconds, 15 to 30 seconds, like what are you saying? That's keeping people on the video. In your blog, right? If you're writing, what's the first sentence or two that you're writing that's keeping somebody engaged and wanting to read more? Lengths, video links, hashtags, and SEO. So I want to tell you something just real quick, and then we'll move on. People obsess about hashtags and SEO. Okay, I don't want you to on blogs. Okay, it's relevant. But on YouTube, I'm going to tell you a secret. It does not matter, right? I get people pitching me all the time by email, like, oh, your videos are not SEO optimized. First of all, very bad way to pitch someone, by cold email, okay? By telling them what they're doing wrong, right? But the thing is, it doesn't matter. Like I've learned this from, and it's not me saying this because I'm a YouTube guru. I'm not a YouTube guru. I don't consider myself a YouTube guru, but I'm learning from some of the best, like top YouTubers who have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, right? That are coaching me on this. And, and I see this again and again. SEO, like the words that you use, keywords, it has to be keyword optimized. No. Most social media, including Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, it's a lesser factor now because most of these algorithms work on machine learning, and machine learning recognizes patterns. Text is like one of those patterns. So looking at SEO to determine what content you're going to create, like what keywords am I going to put in here, is old school, right? Old school. It's like pre-machine learning. Now everything is machine learning and AI. I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, but you shouldn't stress, oh, what keywords am I going to put in my content? It's kind of the last step, and it's something that you should consider as the last step. It's not as important. I won't say it's not important, but it's not as important as all the other things that we talked about before. Because you could have the fact is you could have the best optimized SEO, but then you didn't target the right topic. Nobody's interested in the actual content, and you're not bringing value to anybody. So who cares, right? So that's the idea. And then book 4 here, I want to talk about the 4-hour work week. The 4-hour work week. Why did I put this book in here, right? Why is this even relevant in an online business? Well, he does talk a lot about online business, all right, first of all, but very important is we have to start to create leverage. We still have to start to create leverage, meaning you are one person. You have 24 hours, right? If Fabrice is still on here and Keenan, if you guys are still on, you have 24 hours in a day, right? You're one person. So how do you create, what is leverage? It's when one person goes from having 24 hours in a day to having 48 hours, to having 100 hours, to having 1,000 hours, to having 10,000 hours in a day. Well, how do you do that? You have to do that if you want to build a big business and a passive income, quite honestly. Well, there are a couple of ways to do that. And there are some leveraging strategies. So one is, and this is a point that Tim Ferriss makes, is like hiring VAs. Virtual assistants. At some point, now you don't want to do this from the get-go if you have no money to spend, right? If you're starting a business, you have no money to spend. But once you start to get some cash flow, and so you start to get some customers, you want to strategically invest in virtual assistants to do things like the bookkeeping and maybe even customer service and things like that. Because you don't want to be stuck doing all these things that are not directly contributing to generating more revenue, which is going to make you financially free and time free, right? You want to focus on the 20% of activities that give you the 80% of results. All these clerical, logistical things are not the 20%. So you want to, as soon as possible, as soon as you get some cash flow, don't say, oh, this is my income. This is the biggest mistake. And I've done this myself. I'm speaking because I've done this myself in both previous businesses that I've done. I'm saying I'll never make this mistake again, which is profit does not equal income. And I'm going to say it again because it's very important. Profit does not equal income, meaning when you get revenue, that's revenue, right? You get sales, you subtract your cost, right? Okay, now you strategically invest in some of these things and you have profit left over. Well, now you get to decide what you do with that profit. Part of it can be your income. You could allocate it to income, but it's smarter if you want to grow your business beyond that to use some of that profit, maybe even all of it at the start, to invest in some of these things. Collaborations. Let's say you don't have leads. Let's say you're having trouble generating leads. You can use collaborations. Who do you know? Who you can just call up. It's really underrated, but it actually still works. Call up your friends. Text people you know. Like, ask them, who do you know who has a event space and or does events and who I can collaborate with? Because guess what? You got to get your first few customers somehow, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. But sometimes it's not always just online, right? Sometimes it can be friends and family. Sometimes it can be people you bring to an event space and you have some promotion, right? And then you just got to get the wheels turning somehow. You got to get that initial revenue so that you can take the other steps, do the paid ads, do the, all these things. So automated systems, yes, email delivery systems. So find a way to automate that. And AI. Okay. I want you guys to go, if you're not already familiar with this, you need to go to ChatGPT. You need to basically go to the GPT store. Now, apparently they're all going to be free now, I think. I don't know if they're free yet, but I have made several what are called custom GPTs that they operate on specific tasks. So for instance, I've made a skill mastery GPT as an example. I've created one that follows my system that I've instructed, my learning system that I created for my Life Navigator system program. By the way, you can find that in the description, little plug here, but great program if you want to join that and work with me directly. Check that out in the description. But basically, I've created various GPTs for my own business that actually, make the tasks a lot faster. What I could have done in, 10 hours takes me 1 hour now. Imagine, right? So yeah, I'm able to provide value and do it very quickly. And here's a reality check for all of us, right? Because we want to do this. You cannot be good at all of these things. You cannot be good. You cannot be the best at copywriting. You cannot be the best at sales. You cannot be the best at whatever it is, logistics. You cannot be the best at product research. You cannot be the best at content. You cannot. And even within content, you can't be the best at editing. You can't be the best at, that's the thing. So at some point, we need to face the fact that we're going to have to do some partnerships. We're going to have to do some collaborations. We're going to have to do some hirings, right? It doesn't take much. We're going to have to set up automations because and I'm not good at everything. I'm not the best at funnel building. I've got somebody who helps me with that, right? You have strengths, you have weaknesses, right? It's fine. And then book number 5 here is a personal MBA. And I'll tell you why this is important, because he is so great at helping us, Josh Kaufman, and he has other great books. The First 20 Hours is another example. Great book also. I'm going to talk about that one in a upcoming video because it's just such a great book. But the personal, you got brilliant ideas, succulent implementation. Well, feel free to reach out, Keenan, because I'll give you some tips and stuff like that. I'm happy to brainstorm with you and help you out a little bit. And that goes for everybody. Feel free to reach out, help you brainstorm. It's all good. I want to bring value to everybody here regardless. So book 5, a personal MBA. Yeah, definitely. Or it's the personal MBA. Sorry. But let's go through because he's really good at this. This is a core concept in his book called shadow testing. What is shadow testing? Well, this is how to get your first 10 customers. Who wants to get their first 10 customers? Well, I'll show you how to do it. First, I told you, right? And guess what? If you ask Alex Hormozy, you ask Gary Vee, you ask any of these big names, they'll all agree with me here is, if you have no money, no resources, no connections, you're just starting a business from scratch, you just got to get out there and grind to get your first 10 customers. Because again, I just want to emphasize, it's really for your first 10, 20, 30, your first few customers. You really have to just grind to go direct with people. You really have to. Why? Because you need that initial revenue. If you need cash flow to do some other things that are going to build the business, ads, and maybe you're doing YouTube and you want to hire an editor, whatever it is for whatever that you need to grow your business, you need to just get out there. And I know it sucks, or it sounds like it sucks, but trust me, it's not as bad as it sounds. If you believe in what you're selling and what you're providing, which again goes right back to strengths finders. It goes right back to business model generation, understanding that we're in line with the business that we're starting, then this should be a little bit more comfortable. DMs, so reaching out to people, right, to expose them to your business. Cold emails. Cold emails are You might not think cold emails work, but cold emails, take a look at the stats, guys. Cold emails, meaning reaching out to somebody you have no idea who they are, they don't know who you are, and you're pitching them on whatever it is that you do, product, service. Those actually work. And they have to be done in the right way, and there are templates for that, and there are ways to do it. Networking, like get out to strategic networking events in person, in your area, or online. There are plenty of Zoom like networking events, and just build relationships with those people, and those people will introduce you over time, not right away, but will introduce you to resources, connections, and it just it takes some time. In-person pitches. Hey, when you're out, take every opportunity to talk about your business. Like if you're striking up a conversation, I had to do this in my previous business, but it's so my last business, but it's extremely effective. Like what is it called? The 3-foot rule, right? Strike up conversations. Worst case is you're going to make a new friend, right? And but you're not pitching the person directly, but you're saying like, hey, what do you do? Like, hey, how can we connect? Hey, maybe we can collaborate. Like, this is what I do. Here's my card, right? Like expose. The more exposure you have at the beginning, the more opportunity you have to get customers. Prospecting, overviews, and sales calls. If you talk to like startup founders, lots of startup founders, this is what they do. How do they get customers? How do they get their first few customers? Prospecting calls, sales calls, they reach out, right? And they do sales calls. I mean, it's just kind of what you have to do. Nobody wants to hear this, by the way. Everybody on, affiliate marketing, selling affiliate marketing coaching out there and all this stuff, and on Instagram and TikTok, and look at drop shipping. They don't want to tell you this stuff. They don't want to, because then you wouldn't buy their course, right? I know sound like I'm bad mouthing, but I'm trying not to. I just don't like the tactics that are used because it's just not honest. Like the honest thing is you have to start this way. Like there is no other way. Like you have to start with grinding it out and getting your first customers. And yes, I will end this with a shameless plug, but there's real value. I combined 15 years of experience, guys, into this program. If you want to work with me directly, go check out the description in the link in the description below. Check it out. If you have any questions about how this works, this is a comprehensive system to take you from lost and not knowing what to do to learning skills that you need through a comprehensive curriculum and study plan that we actually formulate just for you and customized personal development plan for you. And the last stage of this being resources and connections. So we start with a customized personal development plan. Then once you have that goal, once you have a clear goal of what direction you want to go in, then customized curriculum we develop for you, again, using a proprietary method and learning system that I've developed over, again, it's going to be 15 years now of teaching experience. Then step 3 is project completion, because skills mean nothing unless you can have strategic connections to people and resources. And we do all this in this program, and we've got a great community. You're working with other people as well. So definitely click that link in the description to learn more. This has been such a fun call with you guys. Like I just enjoy your feedback. You make it more fun for me when you're asking stuff in the comments, in the chat. And I have enjoyed it a lot. Please feel free to reach out to me directly. I love being a valuable resource to the whole community here. And hit me up. Thanks, guys. That'll be it for today. And have a great week.